Hello there, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty darn well. How about you?
I'm pretty good. So I updated the mod on the server. We're now at DartCraft Alpha 56. Yeah, I did a good amount of changes in this one, and not the least of which you see this wing sword looks different than it used to. It looks more like the other swords.
I noticed that. Getting ready to make me some new tools since all my old ones were bugged.
Yeah, some internal ID changes, and just get stuff like that out before the final release, so it doesn't happen to other people. Right, I need to get some water bottles here, because I need to make... Now, I added the crafting recipe for this. Bottle of Enchanting.
That's pretty epic.
But it's kind of expensive because we're kind of low on redstone, but I did need a few of these for something that I added that I really wanted to have. If I put the Force Tome in here, with a Bottle of Enchanting, the Bottle of Enchanting has the Experience upgrade. I just click Go, and this thing will upgrade my Force Tome into a Force Tome that can store Experience. See, it says Experience 0. So what you do is if you right-click it, it'll pull Experience out of it and put it on your bar. But if you shift right-click it, it'll actually take Experience from you and put it in the tome.
Oh dear.
And you can see it actually says the number of experience too. It does 10 at a time, and if you just hold it, it'll just keep doing it. And there's no real upward limit on how much experience you can store in this tome. So when you have levels, you can just shove it in the tome and then put it back in your ender pack for safekeeping.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, although if you have like 50 levels like me, it may take a little while to get them all in there, but it's worth it because it'll store them and keep them safe for you. And someone made themselves a new wing sword. Okay, cool. So in my tome, I seem to have about 3,300 experience because I just drained 50 levels into it. What'd you get?
89.
Now, we're going to use these tomes in a little bit for something else, but even if we weren't going to, that's just really nice because you can actually shift. You can shift click to take experience from you, and you just right click and get it back, and you can enchant your stuff or repair it with the anvil, and it's just nice.
Yeah, I've been waiting for something like that.
Now, I have to warn you, you lose a little less than 5% of the experience, and it's not per use, it's per, like, level. So, just be careful. It's just a little loss just to show you that, it's not 100%.
So I've got me some new force tools. I'm happy. I just need to do my axe now.
Yes, I see you have the Force Stick, the most useful tool, also known as a stick. Now, Dan, I recently added something, and I also removed something. If you go into NEI, you'll see that there's no longer a crafting recipe for this Force Infuser there.
Yeah, I've already looked at that. How are you supposed to get it now?
Well, what you do is you have to use a new tool that I just added called the Force Rod, which, if you look up the recipe for that, let's go ahead and craft one. It's just a Force Nugget, a stick, and a Force Ingot to get you the Force Rod.
That seems simple enough.
Now this thing's kind of cool. It has a right-click use. Oh, looks like I stumbled upon one of the right-click uses, and I didn't mean to.
Well, what did you do?
Let's just look at the wall behind you.
Oh, cool.
You can actually right-click, or even just hold right-click to turn a stone brick into a new item that I made called the Force Brick.
Those look epic. Is there a way to charge it up so it does more than one brick?
There's not. Now, I'm not sure why I can't seem to get the others. This is very strange, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not working on some of these.
This might be because of the Wrath Lamp. I don't know how it does its lighting thing. It's the way I calculate it. Basically, it just looks and it's the same way I do the teleport thing, but I mean, you could break these and you could move them around and you could just put them down and do this as well. And you're probably noticing that your Force Rod is getting pretty worn. This thing only has 50 durability, but you can make more.
Okay.
These are Force Bricks. You can break them, place them down, and they're bricks. There's actually a recipe for them. You can make them out of 4 Force Ingots, but it's really pretty cheap to do it this way.
I can see making a gigantic pyramid out of this.
You could also put a stone brick in the Force Infuser and infuse it with Force to get one as well, which will serve to use some resources, but it'll get you 1 point in the tome, and only 1 because it's the lowest tier of upgrade.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a few ways to get these, but these things are nice. They're just beautiful yellowish bricks, and they have a few interesting properties. One of them is they have a very high blast resistance of about 50, which I think is about up there with obsidian. And for two, monsters will not spawn on these bricks.
That could come in handy.
Also, you notice you can actually use this from a ways away. It actually has a range of about 16 blocks. It just can't do it if something's obstructing it. He's having fun over there. All our bricks are going to be force bricks.
I broke it.
Yes, it should have given you a force shard for your troubles too, so that's kind of nice.
Can you, like, repair them?
You cannot repair them, they're not repairable, you simply have to craft another one. Now, as for the force infuser not being craftable anymore, there is still a way to get it. What you do is you make yourself a force block out of 9 force ingots, and you can just turn it into one of these with the force rod.
Nice.
Now, the catch is when you break this, it actually drops a force block, so there is no way to get the infuser block. You just have to morph it into it with the force rod.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
Now, full disclosure, I did spend a good amount of time trying to get this as a multi-block structure, but that proved very difficult, and, you know, maybe some multi-blocks will show up later, but I think I'm actually happy with the force infuser just being this one block thing.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, the way it is.
Now, I'm going to make a few more experience tomes here, because we can also do something with the experience tome and the force rod.
Sounds intriguing.
It does, doesn't it? Now, seeing as you used up all your experience, I'm going to take some out of this tome and transplant them into the other ones.
I like how it makes that little experience spells.
Okay, so that's exactly 100 experience in that tome. Well, now here's something. I went to the trouble to get 2 more experience tomes that have exactly 100 experience points stored. Now, what you want to do for this is get a multiple of 50 experience in here as close as you can to avoid wasting any. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this force tome and I'm going to drop it on the ground. And now take your force rod and right click it.
Oh god, it exploded.
It exploded into something called upgrade cores. I'm going to give you one of those. I'm going to drop the other tome here. Boom, more upgrade cores.
Well, they do say any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, right?
They do? Why?
Is that like some kind of super technology, or is it just magic?
That's the thing about DartCraft. It blurs the lines, you know? It's mystical and industrious, which is why it integrates with all these other things, but still does all this crazy stuff.
So it's misdustrious?
Yeah, that works. Now, it's worth noting that the Force Tome is actually used up when you make these upgrade cores, and the amount of upgrade cores you get to it is equal to the amount of experience in the tome divided by 50. However, the remainder is just lost. So if you had 275 experience in a Force Tome, you would get 5 upgrade cores, and then 25 experience would just be wasted. But keep in mind, you can control the amount that's in the Force Tome by just shift right-clicking and right-clicking, and each time you hold it down and it does something, it does 10. So you can just count if you want, and then mouse over it to look. Now, one thing you'll notice about these upgrade cores is that they do not stack, and they also kind of animate a little bit, which is kind of cool, but they also look kind of blank, which is because they are blank. Now, if you were to take your Force Rod, and I would take this with a new one that you haven't used yet, and if you actually shift right-click it, it'll open up a little GUI of this little interface here. It's a socketing interface.
Okay.
Now, you can mouse over these, right? But one thing you may notice about them is that you can't really stick items in them. And another thing I should tell you is that once you put an item inside it, you cannot remove it without destroying it.
Okay.
And they only take very specific types of upgrade cores. Now, the nice thing about the upgrade cores is that you could put them in the Force Infuser and upgrade them with certain things. I'm going to take this upgrade core and put 3 sugar on it to get an upgrade core of speed 3. Go ahead and upgrade yours to speed 3 as well.
Okay, I'm going to try this. It takes a little bit of time, too, doesn't it?
It does. Take a Force Rod that has preferably no durability damage on it yet, because these things are used up woefully quickly, and this function is going to be pretty neat.
And then put this upgrade core into this socket?
Yeah, put it into any one of the 3 sockets. It'll take it, and it'll be stuck in there.
Alright, got it.
Now, what you could do is to close it is if you right-click with this now, it'll actually give you Speed 3, a nice speed boost.
Oh dear.
Whee! Yeah, you can actually hold it down to charge it up to about 30 seconds, but then that's the limit.
Well, you don't even have to hold it either. It just continues to go.
No, you do not have to hold it down. It actually puts the potion effect on you. If you open up your inventory, it actually says Speed 3. Now, Speed 3 is because we put the upgrade core of Speed 3 in there, but Speed 3 is the maximum. Also, if you mouse over the Force Rod, it does say Speed 3 under it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It is. Now, when this Force Rod is destroyed, the upgrade core that we used it will also be forfeit. So, you know, it's kind of an exchange kind of thing. Like, you can use these and speed yourself up for fun, but then all the stuff's gone.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and it only has 50 uses, so you can only do that a set amount of times. This is actually one of the things I just added, but it was like a proof of concept to show that I can have this to do extra things. Keep in mind, I've got a bunch of other functions in store for this later.
This has turned out to be quite an expensive mod. Seems to speed up your flight too.
It does a bit. That's speed. That's just vanilla speed potion, and frankly, actually, vanilla, the highest you can get is speed 2. So speed 3 is a little much, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was funny.
That's pretty darn sweet.
Yeah, it'll help you get around pretty quickly too. Now, actually, that this thing has speed on it, you can't use it as a normal rod anymore.
Yeah, I just noticed that when I tried to do that.
But that's fine, and in fact, if you wanted to do this, and I would recommend not doing it right now, because these are pretty cool, but if you shift right-click to open the GUI again, and you shift right-click on a core inside it, it will delete the core, and it will be gone. So just keep that in mind in case you want to replace something. I mean, on these force rods, they're so expendable, you probably wouldn't ever bother to do that. But there's another tool that you can socket that's quite a bit more permanent than this one. Having fun?
Like, extreme amounts of it. I love the popping sound.
Oh, good lord. This place looks like friggin' Swiss cheese.
That's what my name should have been.
Yeah, that's a good one. You do love your cheese. Alright, Dan. Now, for this next part, you're gonna want to make yourself a mining drill.
Ooh, okay.
Like an actual mining drill, not the diamond one, just a regular industrial craft mining drill.
Oh, okay.
We're also gonna want some more of those upgrade cores, so I'm gonna get one more here. See if I can peg it in there. Got it. Boom, upgrade cores. Oh look, I left the stupid thing on again. Whatever.
That time it wasn't my fault.
I'm really sick and tired of that stupid buildcraft mechanic they added.
Yeah, I can see how it could get annoying.
I gotta get some materials for these cores, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare these. Hello, fortunes. Goodness and love will always win. Dwarven found number 7. Fails use fire. That's right, Zelda. I prefer cake.
Alrighty, I has me a drill.
I'm just gonna prepare some upgrade cores. Now, you actually can't just throw anything on upgrade cores, but there are certain upgrades right now that work. One of them is, for sure, you can throw luck on these. You need luck 3. I'm gonna throw speed 5 on one.
What's our limiting factor on speed right now?
5. And then I'm just gonna make a grinding core. Now, those will come in handy in a minute. Now that we have the mining drill, we could actually put the mining drill in here, put a force nugget in, and upgrade it with force to get the power drill.
Oh god, I'm gonna do that real quick.
Da-da-da-da. Now once you pull it out, you see it actually has 0 out of 15,000 EU. And this will function just like a mining drill, actually. And the nice thing is you can actually, well, you probably want to charge it up. Just stick it right in the MFE like this, and it just charges. Anyways, you can break stuff with this. It's not incredibly quick. It's just the mining drill, basically, with a bit more charge in it. Although it actually can break obsidian, albeit kind of slowly. Now, Dan, there's one unique thing you could do with this power drill, and if you shift right-click it, it'll bring up that same socketing interface, and this time you can actually throw some different things in here. Now, the view it could take is, I'm going to go ahead and put grinding in here. Now that's in there, and this thing can actually macerate right here. So I've got a drill that macerates.
Now, which cores did you put in yours?
So far, I only equipped the grinding core, just to demonstrate that you can macerate with this power drill. And the power drill is, of course, drawing out of my lap pack. Now, if I were to unequip the lap pack, it actually used a little over the normal amount that the drill will use. A normal mining drill and the base power drill will use 50 EU per break. This one seemed to use about 72, though. For the grinding, it uses a bit more. And if I were to add other cores, like this Speed 5 core, it'll break it a lot faster, at the expense of more EU. And if I fill the last slot with Luck 3, I did the math, it ends up using about 192 EU per block you break. The mining drill uses 50 EU per block, and the diamond drill uses 80. So this uses a very significant amount more when you upgrade it. So you could feasibly go through your lap pack in a few minutes with this thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
If you're really concerned about that, you could take your normal diamond drill and only use this drill for, say, anything that needs to be macerated or fortuned. And this power drill will actually mine with fortune, because when you put luck in there, it actually has the same level of fortune. So I have grinding, speed 5, and fortune 3 on a drill. It's pretty much the best drill ever. Wow, look at that sand. It's pretty sick. Let's take some power ore here, and just to demonstrate. 4, not that big of a deal. 10, see, that gave me 6. So it does, fortune does affect it. So now when you're out mining, you could just fill your lap pack up and use this one thing to mine everything, and you should be good, because it has macerating and fortune on it. Now, it's worth noting that if you decide that you don't want a core, you can actually shift right-click one of the cores in here, and it will just delete it. It will be gone. But then if you decide you want another one back, you're going to have to remake it and place it back in.
Yeah.
So I figured the socketing interface is nice. Now, in this version, I haven't implemented sockets taking damage, although that was my intent, so that they would slowly take damage and you'd have to replace the sockets. But I mean, I just finished this, I just got it working, and I'm like, okay, I want to play this for a bit, since I've been programming for another several weeks straight or whatever. This wall is terrible looking. Choose a color, wall. Jerk. So here's something nice. This actually functions a little bit faster than the diamond drill does. With
Enderman? Why am I teleporting places?
Whoa!
What the are you doing? Why am I teleporting all over the place?
What?
Oh crap, I'm up in the air. Alright, I don't know what you did, but you've like crashed me.
Well, that's not supposed to happen.
Why am I teleporting? Why? All I know is that right here, I teleport some other place and I lag a whole bunch.